And now, please welcome Tom Taylor, Vice President of Amazon Payment Services.
It's been a great year for Amazon. We launched Login and Pay this time last year. It's been very busy for us. We've had a great adoption both from millions and millions of customers around the world, as well as tens of thousands of merchants. We launched Login and Pay recently in the United Kingdom, Germany, recently in India. We've had great adoption of our services through mobile. We've begun to extend our payment processing both into the offline world with our Amazon Local Register. I want to talk a lot today about the great results we've seen, both from a merchant's point of view and from a customer's point of view. What we've seen for customers is fast, easy, secure. Frankly, customers sort of see the Amazon button and know that they trust it, they use it to shop with. For merchants, increased conversion, things they count most about, higher spend, more customers, more often. Growth guaranteed. Now, this is kind of an interesting slide, perhaps, for a payment processor. But what we've learned about Amazon payments from all of the merchants that we've done business with over the last year and a half is their sales go up. And so we are so confident in the results of our service, we are going to announce today a guarantee. Our guarantee is if after 30 days you don't see a sales increase, we'll refund your fees up to $100,000 in transactions. You may say, well, how can you guarantee it? It's very simple. If you think about it from a customer point of view, if you're an Amazon customer, a Prime member, and you've tried to shop on other sites where it's inconvenient, you have 10 different steps, a password you're trying to remember, and Amazon changes that. Login and Pay just makes a better buying experience. It becomes very easy. What used to be 10 clicks in a lot of different fields is now 3 clicks. You log in, and you're done. Great for the merchant, great for the customer, just a better buying experience. Let me talk about different data that we've seen from different merchants. So let me use some examples. Cymax is a furniture retailer and launched with Login and Pay last year. One of our first users. These are some of the results that Cymax has seen. More customers, 3 times more customers that come to the site actually log in and create new account registration. They've seen a 27% increase in customer adoption. So that's sort of the share that they're getting. Fantastic results. Ting is one of the customers during this year. We launched a recurring billing feature. So think about when you get mobile service for your phone. Well, recurring payments is incredibly important for the customer to essentially trust that you can continue to charge my card into the future. So trust is very important. So what Ting saw was from these people who used Login was higher average order value, 30%, 23% higher conversion. And I think one of the most interesting pieces of data from this partner was 1/10 of the decline rate. When you're trying to set up something that somebody's going to keep billing you every month for a year or 2 years, the fact is Amazon customers keep their credit cards up to date, so the decline rate is much lower. This led to, again, huge growth in sales for this customer. Engelhorn. Engelhorn is a retailer in Germany. It's a family-run business over the last 120 years. Launched with Login and Pay in Germany this summer. Again, big increase, 18% increase in sales, 10% new customers, 25% cart share. When people see the Amazon, they log in, it's easy, and they trust it. So fantastic results for Engelhorn. I'm going to mention one other partner that we've worked with, All Saints. In fact, I'm going to ask Rich Ascott in a moment to come out. Rich is the global director for e-commerce for All Saints. And this is one of the partnerships that they've also launched Login and Pay, and he's going to come out and talk about some of those results. This is just a little bit of the brand of All Saints. And now you may wonder, what in the world does Amazon, a tech company in Seattle known for fleece and flannel, trying to do partner with All Saints? All Saints being an iconic East London brand, very edgy. What do I know? I had to wear the same jacket I wore last year at this thing. So it's a little dangerous for me to bring someone with such a great brand out on stage. But let me bring Rich Ascott out to talk about what we've done together.
Hi there. I bought him a jacket.
This is dangerous. This is very dangerous.
I'm not going to wear this one. It's lovely. It's lovely. It is lovely. So, hello, all the way from London. So, as Tom...
Oh, sorry.
I thought I was getting the clap. It's actually the jacket. As Tom said, we met earlier this year when we launched Login and Pay with Amazon onto the All Saints website. And the first thing I should tell you guys is that we don't do partnerships at All Saints. We're kind of obsessed with 2 things. The first is customer. And I guess you hear a lot of people say that today. I could bang on about lots of wonderful anecdotes. One of my favorites is there was a struggling artist who called up our customer services team and said, hey, I love your leather jackets. Do you mind, I don't really have any money. Do you mind if I swap one of my paintings for your jackets? And we just thought that was a kind of cool story, so the guys just did that. And it's kind of a nice story because they didn't even ask me. It's part of my team. They just kind of went ahead and did it. So we have a global multi-language customer experience team, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 10 different languages. I always say to people, you better hope you have a bad experience at All Saints, because actually the way they try and make it up to you, it's almost worth it. So the first is customer. The second is we're kind of obsessed with doing things in-house. So most fashion brands design their own clothes, right? Most brands design their own product, but what most people do is outsource a lot of help. So a classic example is your store building. People will hire architects, they'll hire store designers, and they'll come build their stores. Sourcing is another one. They'll sort of, it's kind of this, they outsource sourcing. What we try and do at All Saints is we sat down and we decided, look, let's kind of try and own the whole process. Let's own the whole vertical. So the only place today that you can buy All Saints is in one of our 120 stores worldwide. The only place you can buy it online is at allsaints.com. When you go to the stores and have a look, every single thing in there was built and designed by our teams, whether that's the fixtures, the fittings, the furniture, the stores themselves. Software. Unless you're a tech company, most fashion brands, most businesses outsource EPOS, they outsource ERP, they outsource their web platform. We decided, let's just hire 30 coders and build it ourselves. So all of our warehouse management, all of our EPOS, our website itself, we kind of designed and built ourselves. So we're really obsessed about doing things ourselves. So why then, yesterday, did I fly halfway around the world to come and share a stage with another brand? And I wanted to tell you why, because we've done a lot of thinking about this. Every generation for the last 100 years, there's been a fundamental shift in the way that we shop. Okay, so in the early days, you had a sort of a guy with a till and a counter and some stuff. And then in the 20s, the chain stores kind of began. So it's the same proposition, it's the same brand, it's the same service level, but it's multiplied out. The 50s come along, and the supermarkets are invented, and there's two key differences with the supermarket. One is that suddenly you've got 1 million different tills, tons and tons of tills, all the way spanning out. If you're anything like me, you always pick the wrong queue. And the second thing is that people kind of help themselves. And I was thinking about this. I'd love to have been in the room when they were kind of thinking this one up, because it's kind of like saying, let's just get all the customers to go into our stock room and just kind of help themselves. And a story from my own family, that we always have always found funny. My wife's grandfather went to a supermarket one time in his life, and he went to he's kind of quite an old school English guy, and he went into the supermarket, and he stood at the doorway for about 15 minutes waiting for someone to come serve him. And no one did, so he left grumbling about what a terrible sort of service it was and what a bad shop it was. And I think the point of that story is that it's easy, it's obvious now. A supermarket is the most normal thing in the world, but there was a time when you went into every store and someone served you. In the 80s, the sort of chain and the superstore thing was kind of combined, and the big stores bought in bulk, and they passed on the savings to the consumer, and that was their sort of shift. And then 20 years ago, actually, coincidentally, the same year that All Saints was started, Amazon began their journey. And we all know the story, right? We all know that, started in publishing, then they decided they wanted to try and sell everything, then they realized they couldn't sell everything, so they opened up a marketplace, then they kind of layered on top payments and web services and infrastructure and the cloud and service and fulfillment and all the rest of it. And again, it's a bit like because it's so normal, we don't think about it. But I was trying to think of a real-world example about this, and it's kind of the equivalent. It's kind of like Jeff Bezos and the team have sort of built Fifth Avenue, right? But I don't mean when people say, oh, the high street, the digital high street. I mean, he's kind of built the entire infrastructure, right? So there's multi-brand stores, there's mono-brand stores. It's kind of like the infrastructure is like he's built the plumbing and the lights and the heating, and then getting people to the world. So it's kind of like they're the bus driver and the train driver and the taxi driver, and then the service guys, the guys on the door and the guys behind the till. So make no mistake, we are in the middle of another generational shift. and Amazon are in the driving seat. And for All Saints, that was a really inspiring thing, because in fashion, it's always been that there's been high fashion and luxury, and then contemporary, and then high street. We kind of thought, why does it have to be like that? Why can't we develop a product and a brand and a proposition and an experience that is a luxury experience, but at a more compelling price point? Anyway, we're going to tell you guys about a thing we've been working on, which we're quite excited to announce. But before I do, I'll just say my little bit about Login and Pay. We had a 34% increase in conversion through checkout. I could tell you that we had a 24% basket share from a standing start within a week, and that's been maintained. But the thing that I think is really compelling is the speed. Okay, so I'm going to show you a very, very quick video, but the key point here is that I just told you we build everything ourselves. We just launched our own a new website last year. We tripled conversion through checkout, and we reduced checkout by a minute. So we thought our checkout was pretty good. Here's what happens when you kind of combine or pit them against each other. That's the speed thing. And the other thing that I always talk about is, so 24% basket share, okay, from 0 to 24% in the first week. That's tens of thousands of transactions on our website. And I already talked about our customers. We listen to everything. We listen to Twitter, to Facebook. We email everyone. We listen on the phones. We do exit survey on and offline. We listen to everything that any of our customers say to us. We did not have in the first month, which is tens of thousands of transactions, we didn't have a single comment. It's not like saying we didn't have any bad comments. We didn't have any comments. The consumer base just adopted it without saying a word. And I think that that's the kind of really compelling thing. Last week, we had our first comment. So from a Login and Pay point of view, it works. It's as simple as that. You know, we don't do partnerships, but this one works. So that's how we started our journey. And I'll hand back to Tom now to talk about the next stage.
Thanks, Rich. Very exciting. You know, our teams at Amazon and All Saints met together and spent some time and tried to say, hey, we both have this great shared obsession of customers. We wanted to build a better experience for our Prime customers with those elite brands that we know our customers shop. So another announcement today with All Saints is starting today, Prime customers who shop on All Saints will receive free next day shipping for all Prime members. So maybe you could kind of walk through the experience. I think it's a great one.
Sure. So to talk you through it, we, like a lot of brands, really care about our brand equity and the sort of IP, and that is everything to our business, like many brands. We're in a situation where we wanted to own the transaction and look after our customer from start to finish. Not that these guys are bad. I mean, they win the awards for customer experience. But we wanted to do that, and we wanted to find a way that we could leverage the reach and the payments experience, but still kind of keep that within our very precious kind of vertical structure. So to sort of kick it off, the way it works is there is a kind of what I call a showroom in shop, as opposed to a shop in shop, because you can't buy here on Amazon. There's a live feed that gives size, color, and SKU information that lives on the Amazon website. Customers are sent to that through a series of search and other sort of impression and display-based media. You then get sent through to the All Saints website to complete your purchase, and because we've got Login and Pay, it's the seamless experience we've talked about. There is free next-day shipping for all Prime members. It's already selected and highlighted there, and again, the checkout is kind of seamless. Now, we started with shipping because everyone knows, although Prime has a lot more to it, everyone knows Prime for the shipping. But it feels like the tip of the iceberg, okay? The last few months, you know, I actually started having a dream about Amazon the other night. I sort of thought, crikey, things have got really bad, and I'm sort of to dream about Amazon. We spent a lot of time together over the last few months, and we just started kind of dreaming up and brainstorming different ways that we could play with this, because with Prime going off Amazon into the world of other brands, it's kind of like a VIP pass to the internet. You know, it's kind of like the opportunities are sort of endless. So I can imagine a day where Prime customers get free and exclusive access to All Saints music and film content. I can imagine a day when we leverage for Prime customers to ship to all the countries in the world. I can even imagine a day, and I think this is really exciting for fashion and this exclusive point, where Prime customers get first look at a new collection, or indeed exclusive access to collections. There's no reason why the sort of special treatment, we can't dream up a million different special treatments. Now, why is it good for customers? Okay, it's great for customers because they get extra privileges, extra benefits. It's great for Amazon because they get to sort of sell Prime to have those additional benefits. There's more reasons to be a member. And it's great for All Saints because we get to leverage this enormous scale that Amazon has in terms of customer base and trust and sort of security and their payments speed and sort of ease to bring an altogether new customer to our world and give them a seamless and fantastic brand experience.
Rich, thank you very much. It's going to be a joy to be a partner with you. Two great messages today, I think. Prime for customers, growth for merchants. It's a win-win. I look forward to doing more. Thank you.